Before we go any further, if you care about serious evidence-based World War II history that cuts through myths and those Hollywood shortcuts, make sure you subscribe to Hidden Histories WWII right now. You see, this channel exists for folks who actually want to understand how wars are lost, not just how they're won. And today's story is one of the most misunderstood collapses in modern military history. France's defeat in 1940 has been reduced to a lazy punchline. The French didn't fight, they surrendered instantly, and their army was obsolete. That version of events is comforting because it's simple and, well, it's wrong. What actually happened in 6 catastrophic weeks reshaped modern warfare and offers uncomfortable lessons for historians, military planners, and even survival-minded thinkers today. If you want to understand how a powerful nation can collapse rapidly despite resources, manpower, and experience, France in 1940 is essential study. Now, France was not weak on paper, and that is why this failure matters so much. In 1939, France possessed one of the largest armies in the world, more tanks than Germany, a powerful artillery tradition, and recent combat experience from World War I. The Maginot Line was not a joke. It was a serious, technologically advanced defensive system designed to prevent another Verdun. France also had allies, industrial capacity, and time to prepare. When a system that's strong fails so completely, the causes are never simple cowardice or incompetence at the individual level. They are structural. For modern survivalists and planners, this matters because France shows that stockpiling resources without flexible thinking can be fatal. Strength without adaptability becomes rigidity, and rigidity breaks. French military doctrine was, well, really designed to win the last war, not the next one. French strategy after World War I was shaped, you see, by deep trauma. The slaughter of 1914 to 1918 taught French commanders that firepower and defence saved lives, while reckless manoeuvre destroyed armies. As a result, doctrine emphasised holding ground, deliberate movement, and honestly, centralized control. Tanks were treated as infantry support weapons, not independent tools for exploitation. Air power, too, existed just to assist ground forces, not to dominate the battlefield. Germany, meanwhile, built doctrine around speed, decentralization, and initiative at lower command levels. When German armoured units broke through, French officers often had to request permission to react, losing, well, critical hours. The lesson here is painfully practical. Any system that requires top-down approval to respond to fast-moving threats will fail under shock. Whether in war, disaster response, or personal preparedness, delayed decision-making kills. The Maginot Line worked exactly as designed, and oddly enough, that was part of the problem. The Maginot Line did its job. German forces did not break through it. Instead, they bypassed it through the Ardennes, a region French planners believed unsuitable for large armoured formations. This assumption was not stupidity. It was based on World War I experience and flawed intelligence assessments. What failed was not the fortification, but the belief that an enemy would respect your expectations. In practical terms, this is a reminder that defences must be paired with mobile response. Static protection gives confidence, but confidence can become blindness. Modern analysts still study the Ardennes breakthrough as a warning against over-reliance on fixed systems, whether military bases, supply chains, or, infrastructure networks. French units often fought bravely and effectively at the tactical level. Entire German divisions were delayed or even mauled by determined resistance. The problem was coordination. French command structures were slow, fragmented, and frankly overwhelmed by rapid German advances. Orders arrived late or contradicted battlefield realities. Units retreated not because they were defeated, but because they were isolated. This matters beyond history because it demonstrates how morale collapses when people no longer understand the larger picture. For anyone studying resilience, this is a core lesson. People can endure hardship, but honestly, confusion destroys cohesion faster than fear. France entered the war deeply divided. The trauma of World War I, political polarization, economic instability, and, mistrust of leadership created a society already exhausted. Many soldiers were willing to fight, but honestly, few believed the system behind them was worth dying for. When defeat came, it felt inevitable to civilians who had already lost faith in institutions. This is a reminder that national defense is not only about weapons. Social cohesion, trust, and legitimacy matter just as much. Collapse often begins long before the first shot is fired. France's defeat was rapid, but resistance did not end in 1940. Labelling France as useless ignores the Free French forces, the resistance, and French units that later fought across North Africa, Italy, and Western Europe. The 1940 collapse was not a national character flaw. It was a strategic failure under extreme pressure. Understanding this distinction is critical for serious historians, because, myths obscure real lessons. For modern thinkers, the takeaway is clear. Failure is often situational, not inherent. You see, systems fail before people do. What France in 1940 teaches us about preparation, adaptability and survival is frankly invaluable. France shows that preparation without imagination is dangerous. It teaches that assuming an enemy or a crisis will behave rationally according to past patterns is a gamble. It proves that speed, initiative, and decentralized decision-making matter more than raw numbers. These lessons apply whether you're analyzing military history, planning emergency responses, or simply thinking about how societies endure shocks. If this kind of deep, uncomfortable history is what you come here for, make sure you subscribe to Hidden Histories WWII, share this video with fellow history buffs, and help keep serious World War II analysis alive.